Standard 3.4 asks you to explain the relationship between state and national governments as written in Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution and the 10th Amendment. So let's get started. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Virtual History 360. I'm Mr. Wade, and today we are reviewing Florida's updated civic standards. Now, this might be your introduction to the standard or a review before the EOC, but either way, we're going to work through this content together. Now, I know it might sound complicated, but don't worry, we're going to break it down together and you're going to be just fine. But if you haven't already subscribed to Virtual History, do yourselves a favor and click that button now so that you can keep up with all of the standard review videos that will be coming out this year. So, what do you say? Are you ready to jump right in with CG.3.4? Here we go. Federalism is the division of power between the national government and the state governments. It is a key principle of the U.S. Constitution that helps ensure a balance of power and protects individual rights. Federalism limits the power of the government and allows for different levels of government to share authority. The U.S. Constitution outlines the powers and responsibilities of both the national government and the state governments. Article 4 of the Constitution specifically addresses the relationship between the states and the federal government. It states that each state must give full faith and credit to the laws, records, and court decisions of other states. This means the states must recognize and respect the actions taken by other states. The 10th Amendment further clarifies the division of powers between the national government and the states. It states that powers not delegated to the national government are reserved for the states or the people. This amendment reinforces the concept of federalism and ensures that the states have the authority to govern within their own spheres. When we talk about the powers of the government, we can categorize them into different types. First, we have the delegated powers, also known as the powers granted to the national government. These powers are explicitly listed in the U.S. Constitution and include the power to declare war, regulate interstate commerce, and coin money. On the other hand, we have reserved powers, which are the powers that are not specifically granted to the national government and are therefore reserved for the states. These powers allow states to create and enforce their own laws, within their own borders, of course. Examples of reserved powers include the power to regulate education, establish local governments, and conduct elections. There are also concurrent powers, which are powers that are shared by both the national government and the states. These powers include the power to collect taxes, establish courts, and enforce laws. In cases where there is a conflict between state and federal laws, the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution ensures that federal law takes precedence. By dividing powers between the national government and the states, federalism allows for a balance of power and prevents any one level of government from becoming too dominant. It also allows for flexibility, as different states can address their specific needs and concerns through their own laws and policies. So, in summary, federalism is the division of power between the national government and the state governments. It limits the power of the government and protects individual rights. Delegated powers are granted to the national government, reserved powers are reserved for the states, and concurrent powers are shared by both. Article 4 of the U.S. Constitution and the 10th Amendment clarify the relationship between the state and national governments. Understanding federalism and the division of powers helps us appreciate the unique roles and responsibilities of the national and state governments. It ensures that decisions are made at the appropriate level and allows for diverse perspectives and policies across the states. Okay, now I know you're going to go deeper into this standard in class, but hopefully now you feel a little more confident about the content. But I do want to hear from you. Do you have any questions about what we've talked about today? If so, leave them in the comments below. And while you're there, be sure to check out the link to my spring store, where you can get awesome virtual history t-shirts like the one I'm wearing today. Be sure to use code STUDENT and get 10% off your entire order. And also, go ahead and hit that like button for me so YouTube knows to share this with everyone, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my other videos like the ones you see to the side over here. Make sure you watch the rest of this Civics Standards playlist as well as my other civics videos, and I have US and world history, you're going to like those too. So, for Virtual History 360, I'm Mr. Wade. I'll see you next time.